So as I said, we are moving from one division to another. So you remember what I said at the beginning. Airbus represents something like 140,000 people working for the company. And you actually find three divisions. So commercial aircraft, what we've seen so far. You have Airbus helicopters, which is in the southeast of France, Marignane, close to Marseille. And all together you have Airbus Defense and Space. Okay, so all together. So when it comes to military airplanes, Airbus is not specifically here in France, but that's mostly done in Spain. Okay, so for example, when it comes to the A400M, you find the final assembly line in Seville, in the south of Spain. So this is where these are assembled. And well, as you can see when we are in it, that plane is a military cargo. Okay, so this one is made to be operated for all kinds of different missions. Okay, so for example, this one can be used for troop transport, paratroopers mostly in there. You can carry up to 116 of them. So imagine 116, that's a lot. Okay, we are something like less than 50 together this afternoon. Imagine 116 with all the equipment and everything. The plane is completely packed. Okay, so that's an entire row here, another one over there, and you have two rows in the middle facing both sides. Okay, and the plane can also be used, as you can imagine, for a pure military cargo. So that's up to 33 tons that you can carry in there, and it's quite efficient. And it's quite easy. Take a look. You simply do this, flip everything over, and there you have the wheels where you can set the cargo on it. Okay? So you attach obviously everything to the ground, and the loadmaster, the one that is taking care of everything you have in the cargo hold, is in the back, and in the air you can open the doors where we entered, and then you can unleash all the cargo and parachute everything right outside. So as you can see, quite convenient. You can do it pretty much quite easily and rapidly with this one. And the plane, and when I mean the plane, I mean this one, is also quite specific because this is the first ever A400M. Okay, so that's the first one ever assembled. This one took the air for the first time, that was back in 2007 in Seville. And well, as you can tell, being the first one, that's also the first prototype. Okay, so first prototype means this one flew for 1,600 hours of test flights in total. And when that plane was retired from the prototype suite, we have been lucky enough to get this plane here to be able to show it to the public. And something quite unique is that being a prototype, you can also see that, and I mentioned that actually earlier during our tour. Remember I said we assemble a plane empty? That's what empty is. Okay, so floor, skin of the airplane, and all the cables. So that's what it is. And let's be honest, when it comes to a prototype, you don't go any further than that. Okay, you leave it like this, you can fly the plane, no problem. You're not going to go through the trouble of putting the sidewall panels, ceiling panels, and so on. You can fly the plane exactly like this. So the only parts that Airbus removed from the plane, so you need to imagine that in the front you have the section for the flight test engineers with all the computers and everything, and in the back you have the tanks of water to simulate the payload during the test flight. All of that was removed, so as you can see we have the cargo hold for us, and it's 17 meters long, 4x4, and as I said, allowing you to carry up to 33 tons of equipment in a plane like this. And as I talked about a few missions you can do with this one. For example, you can also transform the plane into a tanker if you want to. So as you can see right above my head over there, so that's not the sunroof, okay? You don't want that to open at any time. This is where you have the wing to the fuselage junction. So it's done from here. And you can actually add additional tanks on both sides. You connect everything to the fuel systems in the wings, and therefore you'll be able to refuel some other aircraft in the air. The plane can also be refueled, okay? We don't see it from where we are, but in the front you have the refueling probe as well to extend the range of the airplane if necessary. And the plane can also be used, and I mean the plane can be turned into a flying hospital, so up to 12 beds you can have in there. And the plane also, with its unique feature, it's also quite handy when you have, for example, humanitarian reliefs. It's a plane you can land everywhere, okay? You don't even need to have a runway. You can use it, grass, sand, dirt, it doesn't matter. The plane can go anywhere and you can land it anywhere you want, okay? And on top of that, you have extra short takeoff and landing length, okay? So within 800 meters, you can take off or land that airplane. So as I said, this one really can pretty much do it all. And as of now, Airbus delivered just a bit more than 100 of them. So you have the European countries using it. So France, Germany, Spain, the UK. You also have Belgium, Luxembourg together, Malaysia, Turkey, and soon I believe you have Kazakhstan and Indonesia that are also going to receive some of them. So that is a plane that is used pretty much worldwide as of now, and it has showed quite some good reliability so far with the A400M. And when we talk about a prototype, you know, there is always for you a way to recognize a prototype. So for example, if you ever visit a museum that has to do with aviation, could be here, could be anywhere else, okay? There is always something that is going to point you towards a prototype. You look for orange cables, okay? So if you see orange cables, you know for sure at one point the plane was used as a prototype. So as you can see, right above our heads, here and here. So these are all the cables that used to be connected to all the flight test instruments you need when you're doing the certification. So when you see in a museum some orange cables running, you will never be wrong by telling that the plane was used as a prototype. Because you see the numbers of cables you have in there, you have hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. So everything is color-coded. So you can see what is doing what, okay? So orange always equals prototypes. So that's what it is when it comes to this one. So with that being said, that's going to be the end of our tour together. So I hope you had a good time. It was a pleasure for me to welcome you here and to show you around. So I give you a couple of minutes here if you want to take some pictures. I'm just going to wait for you right outside in order to collect your badges. And if you have any questions, feel free to come see me. I remain available. With that being said, thank you everyone. Take care. À bientôt. Cheers. Thank you.